Are you ready?
Gambia TV. I'm your presenter Lamin, Jammeh. We've just arrived at the ferry crossing here. We're just going to Fort Blade to do some bit of coverage there today. I'm with one of our sponsors, GT Border here with us, Senegambia Beach Hotel, Gambia Hotel Association, GCCI, Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Jamil Trawale, Youngs Dabo, TJ Fitness, and of course, Northern Security Guard. We're just going to go to Fort Blade and just to do some bit of coverage there with one of our sponsors, that is Gambia GT, Gambia Tourism Board with us here. We just arrived at Badara Ferry Crossing. We should be going to Fort Blade just to do some coverage there. Just stay tuned with us.
Yo, this one for a blessed Gambia. The more we work together, the more we celebrate, the more we come together, the more we celebrate. Come on, let's get together. There's a place I love to be. The Gambia, the Gambia.
Hello, welcome to InterFace Gambia. I'm your presenter with my special show called the Jollof Show. We're here in the Gambia to promote Destination Mind the Gap with the Difference, with the help of our sponsors, GT Board, Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Senegambia Beach Hotel, Gambia Hotel Association, Youngs Dabo, Jamil Trawale, Northern Garden Security, Yaya Instant Money Services, and TJ Health International. Now, we just arrived at Fort Blade, one of the most historical places in the Gambia, just across the river from Banjul in Barra. We're here in Fort Blade, and we've got a gentleman here that knows the history of this place better than me, the presenter. Of course, I should think so. Now, gentlemen, how are you and what's your name?
I'm Ibrahim Mbalo. I'm Ibrahim Mbalo. I'm the site attendant at Fort Blade, and I'm very happy to receive you here. You welcome to this fort. This called Fort Blade. Fort Blade was found in 1826 by the British. It was named after the commander is called Charles Blade. So that's why the fort is named Fort Blade. But the fort was not built to keep slaves. They built this fort to stop slavery, to free the slave. Because of the British, they stopped slavery in 1807. But before that, the British started export the slave in the Gambia 1600. So 1807, they were trying to stop it. But because of that time, the slave trade was one of the most profitable business between West Africa and American. There are some European, they don't agree with the British bill. It was the Portugal, French, Spanish, American, and also the Dutch. And when they are coming with the slave ship, they have to pass through here because this is the mouth of the river Gambia. But before they settled Fort Blade, they were the other island called James Island. Now they changed it to Kunta Kinte Island. That one was purposely built to keep slaves. But when the British want to stop slavery, that island is a less strategic point. This is why they stopped that island. So that island was stopped 1815. 1816 they found Banjul because the occupation of Banjul was born out of the British war against the slave trade. So when they found the capital 1816, they built a 6 cannon at the State House so that they will easily intercept the slave traffickers. But what they want cannot be possible because the range of the cannonball when they fire from Banjul cannot reach here. So when they fire from Banjul, the ball can only go half of the mile sea. Then you will see the enemy, they will easily come close to the north bank, escape with their slaves. So this is why Fort Blade was built. So later you'll see the gun, they will complement both sides of the river mouth. Without this 2 military position, the British cannot stop slave in the Gambia. There are many forts in the West African coast, but Fort Blade is the only one in West Africa built by the British to stop slave trade.
So Ibrahim, sorry to interrupt you. If I'm right to say, like you clearly explained, this place was built by the British so they can abolish after the abolition of the slave trade in 1807 by the British. But I understood that before that law was passed, they firstly denied the law in the House of the Commons back in the UK.
Yeah, so that one, when we get to the museum, we will have that.
You will explain that in details.
Okay. Okay, slave trade in Gambia is over 400 years because the Portugal, they started 1456, the British started 1600, and the abolition of the slavery was 1807. But if you look at those miserable men and women and how they packed those slaves into the slave ship, many of the slaves, they died on the way before the slave ship arrived to the New World called America. Most of the slaves, they were captured in a war and later brought by a right man in the market. The town and villages, they are destroyed. African lost 100,000 men and women every year. That is why several African kingdoms, they went to war against each other simply to win more slaves and selling to the European. That was the time of the triangular slave trade was started. Because when the European came to Europe, they bring a European good, gunpowder, clothes, mirror, wine, exchange with a human being. That human being take it to America. From there, they get their plantation, sugar, tobacco. Later, they take it to Europe. And the slave trader keeping the slave always fasting. Because while they are waiting the ship, they are put them in a danger. Because no light, little food or little water, just to keep them alive. So when the boats arrive, the slave, how they are packed in no space, because they're packed like a sardine. Thousands of slaves, they die on the way. If you die or if you're sick, they throw it from the water. Because in the earlier days, the slave, they have no right. They are belonging to their master. They are just like a domestic animal. You can kill your slave. Anything you want to do for your slave, you can do it. The Portugal traders came to Africa to get slaves. Because at that time, they were taking slave to Africa to take it back to their own country for their domestic war. Because at that time, they found the man and African women, they are very strong. And the red Indian in America, they are not enough strong to undertake such hard work. So when the European need a slave, this is why they choose the people from Africa.
So they took African people because African people are meant to be very fit and strong. So this is why the colonial masters were coming to look for our African ancestors because the Red Indians, like Ibrahim clearly stated, were not very strong and they couldn't go through so much hardship. So this fort here was built by Charles Fort Blade. And the reason this fort was built was to protect the coast so that the European explorers, mainly the French and the Portuguese, would stop the illegal transportation of the slave trade between the coast of this River Gambia.
And that's the only fort in West Africa they built by the British to stop slavery. Because Fort Bullen is a very good location. It's a strategic location. So that's the only way for Gambia to go and come in. So when the British built State House, built Fort Bullen, they blocked the European coming to get slaves.
So this is why clearly later we'll take some pictures outside and we'll go out and have a look at it because if you look outside later, which we will show you on the cameras, you will clearly see that this is the strategic location of this place is right opposite the River Gambia, whereby the transportation of the slaveries will be going across there. So this is a strategic location whereby they'll have all the canoes to stop any illegal transportation of slaves onto the River Gambia.
So, and World War II was 1939 to 1945. This fort is renovated again by the British Army to protect against a possible attack from the French at Vichy government, which was controlling Senegal. Senegal is surrounded this country by three sides except the river. During the World War II, the British they came here to modify the gun. You see our evidence with the ammunition magazine. In case of when France want to attack Gambia from Senegal, they will also respond. But afterward, there was no fighting. They just modify the place in case of any attack. And there was a war here in 1831 that's called Badara War between England and the local people here. Because the king of Badara was called Brunei Sonko. Brunei Sonko was crowned king 1823. 1826, he gave the permit to the British. And he was assuring that any ship coming from the river, they have to pay the tax. The tax was so high to the colonial people.
Which was how much, Ibrahim? I guess the tax was...
£20. I will show you inside the museum here. Right. So it was just a brief experience, so now we get to the museum.
So Brunei Sonko, who was the king at that point in time when the British had a problem with the locals or the Nyominkas, they will call them those days. Brunei Sonko was the king at that time.
At that time, yeah.
And so he resisted the occupation of the British and then insisted that they have to pay tax to the people of Nyomi.
Exactly. This is why the Badara War was started 1831. That's why the fort, there is a fort in Banyo that's called Fort Lobel. Fort Lobel was built 1831 to fight with Brunei Sonko.
what we have to do, Ibrahim, this is getting too interesting. We'll have to go around. You saw us some places, and then you'll give us more information. This gentleman here, Ibrahim, Ibrahim is pretty much a historical, that I will call him, because the knowledge the gentleman has got about the history of this place is amazing. Like I say, I'm your presenter, Lamin, Jammeh. We're in the Gambia to promote tourism with a difference. Now, we're in Fort Blett. You heard that beautiful explanation from Ibrahim and what he said about this place when it was founded, the reason it was founded, and why. And also when it was abolished, slave trade, when it was abolished in 1807 by the British people to build this place so they can protect our ancestors from the occupation by the French and the Portuguese trying to use the River Gambia to transport illegal slave trade. Now, we've traveled to a very important and historical location just across the river from Banjul in Badara, which is Fort Blett. Now, we've just met this gentleman here who I believe is an historian, who lives here, who works here for the past 21 years. His name is Ibrahim Mbalo. Ibrahim, you gave us a very good interview outside about the strategic location of this place and when it was built, the reason it was built. But coming over here, Ibrahim, I can see it says the abolition and timeline, British lead the path. Can you explain this place to us, Ibrahim?
The abolition of the slavery timeline, because when you go to England, you see, slavery was stopped there 1807. Yeah. Then you come to Gambia, it was stopped 1826 because of the fort. America, slavery was stopped there 1865. You see, Ethiopia was stopped 1942 by Haile Selassie. And Mauritania, they are the last, 1981. But the Mauritanian slave is called domestic slave. Slave, they don't go out. They only stay in Mauritania. So when you go to the other country, the British, they use this navy boat, capturing the slave to be free. But Africa, this is the only fort they built to free slave. You see, from 1808 to 1870, the British, they free over 150,000 slaves. So a lot of these slaves, they take them to the Freetown because Gambia and Sierra Leone was a one governor. So many of the slaves, they take them to the Freetown, you will be liberated.
So these two countries, Gambia and Freetown, Sierra Leone, we are ruled by one governor. So any slaves that was taken away, they would into Freetown, they were free slaves. Okay, all right.
Okay. Fort Bullen was named after the man. You see, Charles Bullen. Charles Bullen, he was a Commodore. Commodore means the highest rank to the Navy, and he was a man of worship, and he make intimidation exercise, carried 2 cannon to Barra, and looking formally position. And he was also sending mail on behalf of King George. King George was the Archbishop of England, so Fort Bullen was named after the man Charles Bullen. Yeah. So this is the model of Fort Bullen. That's the whole building, you see? Because you came through here. But this is the main gate. You see, this gate was used later. You have officers' quarter, main bar, officers' kitchen, ammunition magazine. But during the World War II, the British soldiers, they came here to against a government of France. That's called Vichy, because they are the one who colonized Senegal. But there was no fighting. They just modified the place in case of any attack. Now the place is under UNESCO in 2003. So that's the main gate, the other one by the sea.
Okay.
Okay, this is James Island. Now they changed it to Kunta Kinte Island. James Island was built purposely to keep slaves, but when slavery want to stop, they stopped this island, and this is why they found Banjul, because the occupation of Banjul was born out of the British war against the slave trade. So when they found the capital, they built a 6 cannon at the State House. But look at the cannonball, it's very heavy. When they fire, the ball can only go half of the mile sea. Wow. Then the enemy, they easily come close to the north bank, escape with their slaves. This is why Fort Bullen was built. The other ball, this is from the World War II, but I told you World War II, there was no fighting. They just modified the place in case of any attack. And the next one, this is the British Royal Coat of Arms. The British Royal Coat of Arms, that's called United Kingdom. This is Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales. That's called United Kingdom. If you want to read it both, that's Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales. If you want to read it both French or English, J.M. Mondroit. You see, English, you said God and my right. So we get this one from the British Royal Navy. So that is part of the European good, you see. Those are the people who was fighting for the abolition of the slavery when slavery was stopped. You have a Queen of Matamba, you see. Wilberforce from England. Thomas Collinson from England, Granville Isaac from England. He's the founder of Freetown because he was helping the slave to go back to their own country. Harriet Thomas from America, very powerful lady. This lady was having the underground runway from America to Canada. All the slaves, they passed through that tunnel. You will be liberated. This is why now America knew $20. This picture is there.
So, Ibrahim, tell us, Harriet Thomas was American.
American, yeah.
So she built that on the ground.
On the ground, yeah.
So she can liberate the slaves. We'll just take a short break and we'll have more information from.
mbokki Sénégal mbokki Europe lii de neexatina waaye yor na lu tolloog 1000 livres fii ci Sénégal te doo si fay dara say waa kër wala say xarit mën nañu récupérer xaalis bi si bépp point wari installer sa application TapTap Send ci sa Play Store wala sa LP Store wóor na gaaw na te yomb na jëfandikoo gaawal gaaw installer te utiliser sa application TapTap Send sa yoon ne bu njëkk gagné lu tolloog 5 livres ak code bii di Jollof TapTap Send application bi ñëpp tam.
A date for your diary. Gambian Fashion and Exhibition Weekend. Designers are welcome to register interest. It's all about raising awareness of the fantastic work being done in our community.
Award night, fashion night and exhibition of top class only. This event is sponsored by Gam Designers UK.
There is a land not far away, where the sea meets the shore on a golden beach, where the river flows through the forest in 1,000 creeks. A place where people smile and say hello. Welcome to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa.
Through that tunnel from America to Canada.
From America.
This is why, now the new dollar, American $20.
So the new
this picture is there.
$20.
Yeah, the new one, yeah.
It's got this latest.
Exactly, yeah. It's made by the Obama. Yeah,
okay.
the former president.
Ibrahim, just behind you here, we can see.
This is part of the European good. Those are the guns, because that time our local king, they needed more gun to fight and get more land. So still now people, they use it for hunting. Okay. You see? And here you have the triangular slave trade. Triangular, this is Europe. Because when the Europeans come into Europe, they bring the European good, you see. So Africa, they get African good. America was called New World. They get American good. All the American good, they take it back to Europe. So that's why many Europeans, they leave their own country to come and settle to the New World, because the trade was one of the most profitable business. But this was started here 1600. Slavery started Gambia 1456. This is almost 400 years of slave trade, you see. And 15 million Africans, they are shipping in America, what they estimate, because it will be more than that. Because some of the slaves, they die on the way. This is a slave ship. The slave ship, no engine. It's a sailing boat. Slave, they just give him a little food or little water just to keep them alive. If you die or if you're sick, they throw it from the water. So that's the interior of parking the slave. You see this boat is empty. This one, they are loading the slave. Now this is full. They are inside the boat here. So that's why many slaves, they die on the way before they reach to New World. Sometimes this number will arrive. Sometimes that's the number of slaves to be arrived, you see? Because they're considering of 39 men, 15 boys, 24 women, and 16 girls just arriving. You see how they are packed? A lot of slaves, they die on the way. How many slaves depart from Gambia and Senegal? That's the total. But Africa is 15 million. This is a slave world market day, because this is Gambian Negro to be sold on Tuesday, 7th of June. 35 days they spend in the boat before they arrive to America in Gambia, because Gambia River is the most navigable river, because it's easier to get Europe. So when you go to the other country, maybe they spend more than these days. But Gambia, they spend only 35 days.
So they used to spend 35 days
from Gambia to America.
From Gambia to
America,
the New World.
To the New World, yeah, it is America.
And you said a total of 754,877 slaves were taken between
from Senegal
Gambia
and Senegal. Yeah.
Right.
You see? And slave primary age was before between 20 to 40 years, because 20 to 40 years, that time you are very strong. And later they allow children, you see? And they sell them less than 20 pounds
so,
in Europe.
Do you know the amount of children which were taken away in total? Not adults, but children. Okay, all right, that's fine. So coming over here, Ibrahim.
These are the instruments. These are the slave instruments. This one is a whip to build the slave. You see the back of this man. The other one, this is not popular. You only see it Fort Bullen. When you go to Kunta Kinte Island, you don't see this one. This is called mouth guard. Slave, when they are in the plantation, you cannot talk, you cannot eat. If you are talking or eating, they fix the mouth guard from your mouth. It's a punishment, you see. The next one is a brining iron, because this company is from England. It's called ATI. So when they arrive to the America or in the ship, they put this one to the fire just to mark you, like a tattoo. So when they mark you, say they are branding this lady, then the name will come out. If it disappears, when they see you, they will know that this slave belongs to this company.
So, Ibrahim, let me just ask you again. You said this company is from the UK.
From UK, that's called
so
ATR.
ATR is from the UK, which of course, they played a very important role to abolish slavery. So this was used to brand our ancestors. So when they brand you, then someone will know that ex-slave belongs to someone else. From that person.
So you see, they are branding this lady.
I think the cameraman needs to take this thing. So Ibrahim, coming over here.
And the next one is a handcuff, you see? So this one for their leg, and that one for their neck. The last one is a slave caravan. When they capture and they tie them 4 by 4, you see? They watch them very closely to prevent their escape. But this journey can take so many kilometers. If you die or if you're sick, they throw it from the water.
So it looks like on this bigger picture here.
Exactly.
So that is a slave caravan.
That's a caravan, to transport them then.
Right.
Yeah. And the museum were divided into 3 sections. The other section of the museum, before the arrival of the European, there was a king. You see, this man was called Brunei Sonko. Brunei Sonko was the king of Bara, king of Nyomi. But first time the British there were here, Banjul. The king of Banjul was called Tumani Bojang. But because of this canon at the State House cannot reach to Fort Bullen, they come and see Brunei Sonko. So King William was the Ivy of England. So they signed the Syrian Mile. You see, all this red, it's up to here is an area to Brunei Sonko. You see?
So all this place here. The coast of the river belongs to
Brunei Sonko, you see? And they pay this money to the king, the annual payment. You see? You can take this with pictures. It's very important, you see? So
they used to pay $400 to Brunei
annually, annually. Because they control the river map.
Because they were using the river map.
Exactly. So that's why there is a war they call Bara War. The Bara War was started 1831 between England with Brunei Sonko. And according to them, there was 11 Europeans died in the war, 57 they are wounded. So that's why they built Fort Level. This is called Fort Level. Fort Level you have it in Banjul. So Fort Level was built 1831 to fight with Brunei Sonko.
So how many years does it take before this war stopped?
This was take maybe about 3 months, I think.
3 months the war stopped. And some of the wounded soldiers left, and the ones that escaped decided to come back after the war.
Exactly.
Okay, tell us a little thing about Brunei Sonko. This is here. What we can see here, this is Brunei Sonko. Okay, and an art design of Brunei Sonko. So this is how our ancestors, king.
He was a very tall man, very strong man here.
Yeah, this is.
We have a lot of king also. Without Brunei Sonko, there is a lot of king. Maybe you can take
we will talk about that. So Brunei Sonko was the person that fought against the occupation of the British people by asking them to pay $4,000 to him to protect the river mouth of the Gambia. Very interesting, Ibrahim. Ibrahim.
So those are the bottles they use for their palm, and then you have the ceremonial sip for the king. So and here we have king sip in Nyomi. Nyomi means the local people who live this area, not bound. That's called Nyominka. You see?
So this here is the king.
They are ceremonial six.
Ceremonial six. Okay, then.
Then here you have the kingship in Nyomi. Nyomi means the local people who live not bound here. That's why you have kings of Nyomi, a lot of kings, you see, and queens of Nyomi, you see. But the 3 families, like Jammeh, Mane, and Sonko, they are the rulers of Nyomi. So but Jammeh and Jammeh, they are not the same. Jammeh is Jola, but Jammeh is Mandika. Because not bound here, there is no Jola here. So Jammeh and Jammeh is not the same.
So Jammeh,
you see? Okay, and this is a family compound. That's the family compound. That's the head of the compound. You have senior wife, you have bachelor's quarter, cookhouse, and kitchen. The barriers, they just make it here. If you enter the compound, you must meet the head of the compound before you reach inside.
Interesting.
Yeah, and next one, these people they call mulatto or signare. Signare, because when the first European arrived to the country, it was the Portugal, they intermarried with the European. So their skin is very light, like a European skin. They copy a European style because their language is a European language. They always light pipe for smoking. So there was a lantern here during the Christmas time. They make a decoration for their houses. We have another section.
Okay.
And the next section, and this is the language. The language we have not bound. You see, there is no Jola. It's mixed with Fula, Mandinka, Manjaga, Wolof, Syrian. So you was here, now you are here. You see? So they build this one, they block the road. That you cannot not come to Kunta Kintela Island to collect the slave.
So what do we have here?
So those are the cooking tools. But you know, maybe by next week we are trying to come to renovate this side because it's very hot. This boat is the fourth boat of Bara. The fourth boat of Bara was called Salang boat. In those days, when they want to travel to Banjul, they normally use this boat, but no engine. It's a manpower paddling. So now that's the new one they use with the engine. Okay. So the time for grammar from here to the capital. Now they use this one, you see before. And this is a lip tattoo. Lip tattoo is similar like a European tattoo. But European, African tattoo, all they do it for beautification, just to attract people. So when they want to do it, you take the needle, you make it like that. That's the way they make. And you see the blood, when the blood is coming, you take this black one from the cooking stone, later your tip be like it. But when they are doing, they have to entertain you. You see these two people, they sing for you. The other one is playing music, just to calm you. So these are the ethnic group who do it. Sere, Wolofula, and Manika, even Sarawule. The next one, this is a Sere common food. Because that is just a joking relationship. Because this is couscous, this is already processed, this is not processed. You have peanut, then dry fish. So that one is a joking relationship. The last one you have rasulin. So that is all about the museum now.
So this is rasulin here.
That rasulin. Rasulin, when you go to Senegal, one day you can be a millionaire. Because a lot of criminals in Senegal, they spot the criminal, now they join the rasulin. Even Gambia, people have started to do it here. So it was just a brief explanation about the museum. Now we just take it around to see the others.
Thank you very much, Ibrahima. You gave us a very good explanation about this very small museum, but quite a big knowledge about the history of Fort Black. So I am really amazed, you know, the knowledge you've got about this place, and you just walked here for 21 years. Wow, amazing. Ibrahima, please tell us about this here.
And then you see, that's the, this is Nyomi, because the museum was sponsored by the British High Commissioner. You see, that's Nyomi, Fort Bullen, and the abolition of the slavery, sponsored by the British High Commissioner. So that's my name. Yeah, and this one is a drinking trough for the animal, you see. This tower light is called navigation light. Navigation
so here,
light,
Ibrahima,
yeah.
Ibrahima, I've just explained this picture here, which is sponsored by the British High Commissioner in the Gambia. And you can clearly see his name there, Ibrahim Bala.
You have Baba Sosseh, the Director General House in Sosseh.
Okay, and now here, this is a traditional
drinking trough for the animal. You know, now you just go to the shop and buy the bucket, but first time they use this one so that the animal can drink through that. You see? So, okay. Sitting tower light is called navigation light for the ship, because any ships are coming, when they see a red light, they will know that the place is a danger place. But this is a new one. It's belongs to the Gambia Port Authority. And every hole you have seen is an observation hole. It's a place where the soldiers used to stand with their gun, looking for enemy. Because when you stand there, you can see your enemy, and it will be difficult for the enemy to see you. So when they shoot, the bullet cannot penetrate the stone. Because the original stone they built Fort Bullen, that is called laterite stone. It's just like a lava stone from volcanic. But Gambia, we don't have lava. This stone that's called laterite stone, all this stone they collected, there's an island called Dog Island. If at all you are going to Kunta Kinte Island with a small boat, on your left hand side you see Dog Island. And I will show you the original structure before. And that cannon you have seen, the bullet is still inside. You want to see
the cannon over there has got a bullet inside. Ibrahima is telling us that's a cannon over here that we will come and have a look with him. He's going to explain to us this cannon has got a bullet in there. I'm sure it's not a live bullet because it's been there for a very long time. But he is going to show us this cannon that has still got a bullet inside there that has been used by the British to protect this area for the illegal trading of slaves. So this is a cannon that Ibrahima is talking about. Ibrahima, tell us about this cannon.
All is gone, you see. When the British stopped slavery, all the gun, they put it down. Just few years ago, we decided to mount it back again. And the carrier was also donated by the American embassy. They are the one who sponsor. And that's the cannon. This is a touch hole. Touch hole is called fuse or touch hole. You see, that's the crown for the British, you see. And this one, when you show it, you will know that it is made by the British Royal Navy. Come and see the cannonball.
And this here, as you can clearly see, this is a crown that you will see on the royal family or the Queen's hat that she always wear on royal ceremonies. You will see this crown there. So this tells me clearly that this was built by the British people. We'll just take a short break and we'll have more information from Ibrahim.
mbokki Sénégal mbokki Europe lii de neexatina waaye yor na lu tolloog 1000 livres fii ci Sénégal te doo si fay dara say waa kër wala say xarit mën nañu récupérer xaalis bi si bépp point wari installer sa application TapTap Send ci sa Play Store wala sa LP Store wóor na gaaw na te yomb na jëfandikoo gaawal gaaw installer te utiliser sa application TapTap Send sa yoon ne bu njëkk gagné lu tolloog 5 livres ak code bii di Jollof TapTap Send application bi ñëpp tam.
There is a land not far away where the sea meets the shore on a golden beach, where the river flows through the forest in 1,000 creeks, a place where people smile and say hello. Welcome to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa.
A date for your diary, Gambian Fashion and Exhibition Weekend. Designers are welcome to register interest. It's all about raising awareness of the fantastic work being done in our community.
Award night, fashion night and exhibition of top class only. This event is sponsored by Gam Designers UK.
That this was built by the British people. Now, Ibrahim,
Okay, the cannonball is here. You can see it.
If you look inside here, it's quite rusted and it's quite really far in there. I don't know if the cameraman can see it, but I could see it in there. If you look inside there, Mr. Cameraman, you can see that there's a bowl in there. Can you see it? Brilliant. Brilliant. Wow.
Okay, when they want to use the gun, maybe sometimes 3 or 4 people can use it. One have to clean inside, put the gun powder. The next one put the cannonball, you move it inside with a long stick. Then the last one can touch the touch hole. So you have to apply some gunpowder here with a long stick. You cannot stand there and make your fire. If you light it, you have to stand a distance. Then the ball can go half of the mile, then the other gun can come. But all the gun was, after when the British stopped slavery, they put it down. Just few years, we decided to mount it back. So I think we look at the other side.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. This is quite amazing. I'm really touched by the history that this gentleman is giving us today. This reason that we're here in the Gambia is to promote destination with a difference, Gambia with a difference, because like I always say, Gambia has got a lot to offer when it comes to history and the beauty of this country. We talked about slavery, which we will go to Kunta Kinte Island later and to do some bit of sightseeing there. Gambia, when it comes to heritage, when it comes to the history, this alone, like Ibrahim clearly said, only one fort was built in West Africa and it was built in the Gambia to protect this beautiful river mouth for the abolition, for the illegal trade of slaves by the French and of course the Portuguese. We will just follow Ibrahim downstairs and we'll take more information from him. Just follow us downstairs. So we've just come down again from that place. We've just seen Ibrahim, tell us about this room here.
So here was the officer's kitchen where the officer used to cook. So that's the main gate, you see. So because the British, they built this fort just to control the river mouth. So this is the main gate. The other gate was used later. And then there is a guard room. Guard room is where the sentry man used to stand and watch the gate. So I'm sorry to come inside the guard room, but now it's my office.
So this is another place. This is another room, yeah, which is called the guard room.
Okay, and this is the World Heritage Site in the Gambia. You see, Kunta Kinte Island now is coming very small because the water level is. You see, and that is fort. This is Stone Circle. Stone Circle is just like a Stonehenge in England because Stone Circle was here before the arrival of the Europeans. So you are here, Fort Bullen. So this is Fort Bullen, that's the cannon at the State House. They built this one to block European. Because River Gambia, the more you see, this is a salty water, but this is fresh water. Because this water comes from Guinea-Conakry. You see, that's the Stone Circle, Fouta Jalong Island, yeah.
And this Stone Circle here, Ibrahim, if I'm right, it's in Wasu.
Wasu Stone Circle.
Wasu Stone Circle.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And we have a small museum there.
So
we just climb up, see the Atlantic Ocean.
Right. So this is quite interesting. Ibrahim has just given us a bit of information about the beauty of this country, the Gambia. Now look at this map here. I know it's quite small when it comes to the map of Africa, but Gambia has a very important, the River Gambia is so important that the Americans and even the British, before they abolished slavery in 1807, they were using this beautiful map because according to Ibrahim, it used to take them 35 days for them to use this River Gambia to get to America. So how many days would it take them to get to Europe? Probably a couple of days to get to Europe. He talks about Stone Circle in Wasu, another beautiful place that is a historical place that someone can go and visit and get so much knowledge about the Gambia. Like I said, Gambia has got a lot to offer when it comes to history, when it comes to the heritage. We have lots of people that are coming to our beautiful country, the smiling coast of Africa, to gain this beautiful history, the heritage. They want to discover things. But we'll still follow Ibrahim. He's going to show us the mouth or the ocean where we can see everything. Where we will see everything, and then how the British tried to block the illegal trade of slave through this area. So Ibrahima, can you explain to us where
okay,
we stand
in this
now?
fort we have 2 ammunition magazine. Ammunition magazine is where they normally keep their weapon. So the ammunition magazine is not need to be hot, it's always cool, because when it's hot the powder magazine can explode. So we have 2 ammunition stores. That one was modified during the World War II. When you go there you will see some of the guns number. And this is the original one, the original ammunition store. Then
so over here we go in, like Ibrahim is clearly explaining the game. They used to have 2 ammunition magazines here, and these 2 ammunition magazines has to be kept cold all the time. The reason being, if they are hot or warm in there, it's not safe because it could easily cause explosion. And this is the original ammunition magazine that was built during the fort, the time that they built the fort. So this here, which I have to mind my head, and of course the cameraman, you also mind your head coming in here. Just be careful. Wow, 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 wow.
That's the ammunition store.
I'm quite tall, I can't even stand properly. So, of course, this place is very cool, Ibrahim.
Cool, but the other one is more cooler than this one, because that one was during the World War II. This is 18th century. And that's the ventilation air. Without the ventilation air, the powder magazine can explode. So that's the original structure of the fort. Fort Bullen was built with stone. There was no cement. They used muscle from the oil.
So these are the original stones of. Wow, wow. And tell us about this whole area.
This is a ventilation air, because without the ventilation air, when it's hot, the place can be exploded. Right. So you must need a ventilation air.
So this is air where air was coming in
yeah,
to
inside,
keep the place cooler.
Exactly.
Brilliant, brilliant.
So now you follow the leader up. Let's climb up. Follow the leader and see the Atlantic Ocean.
Now we've just come out of that magazine there, which was the ammunition magazine Ibrahim has explained to us, where the British used to keep their gunpowders, and of course so was that area whereby that's where the ventilation will come to cool down. Now we're just going to climb the stairs here. So he was going to show us where you can see the mouth and the river Gambia, where they were trying to use to explore our ancestors and use them as legal slaves, even after the abolition of the slave trade in 1807. So just coming over here, just mind your steps while you're coming, Mr. Cameraman. You can, wow, this is amazing. This is beautiful. Just come over here. Come over here.
Then there is another magazine here, but the magazine is called Ready Magazine. Ready Magazine is very close to the gun, because when there is an emergency, before you go to the original magazine for demand, you have to pick the ball here, then you mount it on top. That's called Ready Magazine.
So over there, this is amazing. You can clearly see there's a magazine that we had already seen downstairs, but this one is the ready one already, meaning everything is ready. So in case of emergency, instead of rushing all the way downstairs to get stuff from there, you can just pick a ball from here and then use it and just fire. If you just come over here, then you will see, wow, this is amazing. This is beautiful. Of course, when you're up here, Ibrahim, tell us about this one.
This is a cannon. That is our evidence during the World War II. That's called the anti-aircraft gun. And this is the compact. You see the compact. The compact is up to 360 degrees. How the gun
and if you look around here, you can see this is 360 degrees compass that has been mapped on the wall here. 360 degrees. So this is what they were using.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, then here is the mouth of the river Gambia. This is the entrance, and that is the Atlantic Ocean. So any ship coming, going, they have to pass through. Look at the State House, the white building. It's directly opposite with here. So those guns, when they fire, the ball can only go half of the mile. See, the enemy can easily come close to the side, escape with their slaves. This is why Fort Bullen was built, so that they will complement together. Because Fort Bullen is a very good location. It's a strategic location, and that's the only way for Gambia to go and come in by the sea. So when the British built State House, built Fort Bullen, they blocked the European coming to get the slave. And the 2 tree is called baobab tree. Baobab is a very old tree. This tree can stand here more than 500 years. And the fruit is very good for the stomach. People use it if you want to make the local ice cream. They are both baobab, but the other one, this is called upside down tree. Because look at the branches, all that branch is going up, but this one is coming down. So that's called upside down tree.
So now, to all our viewers of InterFace Gambia TV, this is amazing. The story that I am getting from here is beautiful. This guy here, I'm really, proud to be a Gambian, to be a brother. This guy has got so much knowledge about this place. He's explained in details. And if you can look just across over there, you can see the State House, where is the presidential palace of the Gambia, the Republic of the Gambia. Now, if you look straight over there, it does make sense why the reason the British has built this place, because that will give you they will give them the opportunity to stop any illegal trade of slaves going through the river Gambia here towards the Atlantic Ocean. So there will no more illegal trading before they can take our ancestors from our beautiful island to the river towards the Atlantic Ocean, and to spend that 35 days all the way to America, where our ancestors were packed like sardines. But we still follow Ibrahim, and Ibrahim will give us some more explanation of this place. This is absolutely beautiful. This is a place definitely someone has to come to see. If anybody, even Gambian people, they need to come and visit this place, because the history of this place is amazing. The guy has got so much knowledge about the history of Fort Blair, the reason why this place was built, the reason why the British decided that they will have this place to protect the illegal occupation, the illegal transportation of slaves from this place to Europe and America. We'll just follow Ibrahim and he'll give us more information about the other side. Now, another place. This is another building. Ibrahim, can you tell us what is this room? What was this room used for?
That was the officer's quarters.
So if you come over here, this is called the officer's quarter.
Officer's quarters, yeah. Where the officers used to stay. But down the floor is a new. So, on the roof, we are trying to renovate the roof.
Okay.
That's the original structure of Fort Bullen. This is called laterite stone. It's similar like a lava stone, but Gambia, we don't have lava. This is called red laterite stone. All the stone they collected, there's an island called Dog Island. So, at that time, they don't have cement. They use mussel from the oyster sea.
So, this laterite stone, Ibrahim, if I can understand, just feeling it, you can tell that a bullet cannot penetrate it.
Yeah, because of the hole. Because of the holes.
Just feeling this, you can tell that a bullet cannot penetrate such a hole. Ibrahim, looking behind here, it looks like
that's the fort. That's the model of fort. So and this is also very important, because we used to have a lot of schools coming here, Gambian students to come to learn our history here. So this was also made by school children. You see, they make a competition. So this are coming here, because this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So a lot of schools are coming here to visit the fort. So last time they make a competition here.
So these pictures there, these graphic designs we're seeing over on the wall here, are made by Gambian students from different schools. So they'll come here and they'll look around, they will take the heritage of the place, and then they will do a competition to design these stuffs, you know, which they will leave here for people to know about the history of this place. Yeah. Ibrahim, this is beautiful. Ibrahim, okay, the history of Fort Blair again. History of Fort Blair. Yeah. So, wow, amazing. We're still in Fort Blair in one of these rooms here. This is amazing. And just touching this wall here, you can tell that there was no way that a bullet could penetrate this thing. So one can understand the reason why they've built such a strong, beautiful place just to protect our ancestors from the illegal transportation of slaves coming from using the river Gambia. So it was a good idea from Charles Fort Blair to build this place. So if you just follow us outside again, Ibrahim, I want to show some certain stuff about a well that, I don't know whether it's a drinking well or what. So we just over here, I can see two poles here. Ibrahim, can you tell us why did they use these two poles?
That's the Union Jack flag pole. The Union Jack was fixed in here.
So this is the original?
That's the original, yeah, that was the original Union Jack.
The original Union Jack flag. This was where the flag used to be.
Used to be, yeah. Amazing. And here you have the water well. They are still use it.
Okay.
They are still use it. You see the bucket, but the water is a little bit of salt because it's close to the sea. Okay. So they use this bucket to fetch water, but it's a little bit of salt. It's not drinkable.
So, standing over here.
Also found 1826.
Standing over here, I'm standing over a well which was found in 1826 according to Ibrahim. So this is an original well, but the water is not drinkable because it's very close to the sea and the water is a bit salty. But do you still fetch water here to use it for water?
Yeah. Just if you want to perform to pray, you can just use it because that's it.
Right. So over here, you can see it's like a stage. There's a stage over here you can see. So what was this stage used for? It's a concrete stage.
This is where the soldiers used to stand parade for the commander called Charles Blaine. So that was the stage.
So this was the stage that the soldiers used to stand and take parade or command from Charles Blaine, who formed this place. Wow, interesting.
Then we look at the other ammunition store. Then we look at after the anti-aircraft platform.
Okay. Just going over there, there's an anti-aircraft platform that we're going to see now. And this anti-aircraft platform was used by the British soldiers that were stationed here to protect the river Gambia, to protect the illegal transportation of slaves over the river Gambia to the Atlantic Ocean. So we're coming over here. That's another place there that Ibrahima is going to show us. Ibrahima, please, if you just explain to us, what is this room used for?
This room was the ammunition store. Ammunition is where they normally keep their weapon. But I told you there was a 2 ammunition store. Yeah. This was modified during the World War II, but the other one is over there.
We in one of the other ammunition stores, we've seen one over there that Ibrahima explained to us. But in here it's quite cold. Ibrahima, can you tell us the reason why this place is cold?
That's the second magazine, because I told you the ammunition magazine is not need to be hot. It's always cold, because when it's hot, the place can be exploded. We have visited the first one, but this new one is more colder than the other one. And this list you have seen here, this was here since the World War II. You see contents of magazine, then cells, you have gun number, because every gun they have a number. This is cartridge, this is HE, that means high explosive. So that's the ventilation air. So without the ventilation air, the place can be
You can see the numbers of guns here. And this is amazing. It says a cell there, and then it says HE, which says high explosion. And then the cartridge there, you can see another gun number, WA14329. Amazing, Ibrahima.
So that's the ventilation.
So coming over here on this other side here, like Ibrahima, like he saw us earlier on, that's another place for ventilation. So they use this place to keep this place cool for ventilation. So they will have ventilation, like he clearly said, because they have got explosion powders in here. The place needs to be kept cool all the time. In case the place get warm, there could be an explosion, and that's not safe for the soldiers that were guarding this place. So this is amazing to have that here also to cool the place for ventilation. Amazing. Now, we just climbing over here. That's the beautiful stuff that we want to see with Ibrahima. Going up there, that's an anti-aircraft system being built here during those days of Charles Fort Blett with his soldiers. So he built an anti-aircraft system over here. So when all the aircrafts were going across, this was the place they were protecting themselves. An anti-aircraft was built here, which you can see during the World War. Ibrahima, please explain this thing to us.
That's the anti-aircraft platform. It's a defensive area, because this was torn in any direction. Then that's the loophole. You look your enemy here, the mouth will be here. Then the gun can turn like a compact. Yeah, but the tree was here after the World War II, because after the World War II, Fort Bullen was totally abandoned. So because the cannon cannot be here, the tree will be here. No. Another one is over there. When you go there, you will see the platform is still there. There's another building over there. It's not a new building. It's a colonial building. The building was a travelers commissioner sir. When the governor is traveling, he's normally spend the night there. But this is a UNESCO site. Then we just renovate it. We rent it to somebody. So as a bar. So I think now that's the end of the tour now.
Thank you very much, Ibrahima. We really appreciate your time. It is a pleasure to have you on this special show called the Jollof Show with the sponsors of Gambia GT Board, Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Yankoba Dabo, Jamil Trawale, Yaye Money Services, TJ Health International, Northern Garden Security. We came to the Gambia to promote destination, Mind the Gap with the Difference, because we believe that as Gambians, the heritage, the history of the Gambia needs to be sold out there. And we know for sure and for fact that the Gambia, when it comes to tourism, it imports a lot when it comes to the GDP of this country, 19 to 20 or 21% of the GDP of the Gambia. This is why we came over here to promote and showcase Gambia with the different. Now, the history that you gave us about this place, Fort Blett, the reason why this place was built was to abolish slavery. Maybe if this was not built here today, probably the slavery will still be going on. But the British done it in 1807, which was a good move they did to abolish the transportation of human beings, because we all human beings. I am very happy to have you on my special show called the Jollof Show. Thank you very much. You're also doing a great job for the tourism department, and I'm sure they really appreciate your time. Thanks ever so much for your time. What do you have to say to the viewers of InterFace Gambia TV?
Yeah, you know, the place is not working. The place is very dull. because there's two wise the military soldier, the former government, they take over the fort. So the soldiers are here. Nothing was happening over 2 years, 2007, 2008. And the state of emergency also, the soldiers came back here. So nobody was coming here. That's why the place is very dull. So we need to market here very well. Sometimes you see only one tourist can enter the fort. And now there is a high season.
Now, for sure, Ibrahim has mentioned something very clear. This fort was in 2007 and 2008. The former government used this place as a strategic location for any possible attack, because as we all know, quite a paranoid government, the former government. So, but this is a historical place, not to be used for certain things like that. And I'm sure the Ministry of Tourism would like to keep this place and invest in this place to develop it more, so we can have, we are at the peak of the tourist season. This place should have been packed now because of the history and the heritage of this place, so people can come and visit and learn a lot about the reason why this amazing wall, these four corners of this building has been built here. Thanks ever so much, Ibrahim. Stay tuned. We will be going to James Island, Kunta Kinte Island, most people will say, to know the history of the most important slave when it comes to this river here. The most important slave that has ever crossed the mouth of this beautiful river, the ocean, will be going to visit his home village, which is Kunta Kinte village. Stay tuned. I'm your presenter, Lamin Jammeh, with my special show in the Gambia, the Jollof show called Destination Gambia, Mind the Gap. Gambia, Chikochi, Kanam.